Most people don't realize that the vast majority of our killer whales were born in our care. Behind me is Kalia and her 4.5-month-old calf, Amaya. She is just one of over 30 successful killer whale calves we've had born in our parks. Recently, we got a question on this exact topic from Sammy on Twitter. Sammy asks, so you say you don't collect the whales from the wild. Where do they come from then? Thank you for your question, Sammy. The truth is, SeaWorld hasn't collected a killer whale from the wild in over 35 years. For your reference, that's back when President Carter was in the White House. I understand that some people are uncomfortable with the fact that killer whales were once taken from the wild, but the world has changed a lot since then, and we have changed with it. So we want to share more about how our killer whales are helping us to protect their counterparts in the wild.
There are a lot of different groups that are saying things like, well, there's nothing that we can learn from whales in captivity. In the case of my research, that's absolutely not the case.
PETA and other critics of SeaWorld have said that there's no value in keeping killer whales in captivity. I disagree with that.
My area of expertise is bioacoustics, which is understanding animal communication and perception, and I'm interested in the dialects of killer whales.
My research focuses on trying to understand natural carbon monoxide levels that are produced in mammals.
Our work on heart rate is allowing us to develop the tools to examine the electrocardiogram and actually know that we are getting an accurate record of heart rate in the animals while they're diving. Once we've accomplished this here at SeaWorld, we can now use these techniques when we go to sea and put these on animals at sea to see how these animals are able to dive as deep and as long as they do.
The work that we're doing is important for helping to manage the killer whales in the wild because we're learning about the flexibility and the adaptability of their dialect system in a way that you can't plan an experiment like this in the wild.
Having whales at SeaWorld is a great opportunity for scientists like myself to come here and collect very controlled samples that are otherwise impossible to collect in the wild.
Those are just 3 examples of more than a dozen research projects we're working on to benefit killer whales everywhere. We're proud of the work that we've done, but we're committed to doing even more. That's why we recently announced we're investing $10 million, the largest private investment of its kind, for studying and protecting killer whales in the wild. The truth is, we love these whales. We've dedicated our lives and careers to giving them world-class care today and for years to come. Thanks again for the question, and keep them coming.
My name is Hendrik Nollens. I'm a veterinarian here at SeaWorld San Diego, and I want to correct some misinformation. In this video, these 2 so-called killer whale experts confuse a 10-month-old calf with a nearly 3-year-old whale here at SeaWorld San Diego. The 10-month-old calf weighs about 800 pounds. However, the whale you saw in the video is nearly 3 years old and weighs 2,130 pounds and eats 65 pounds of fish per day. He hasn't been observed to be nursing in several months. However, he does still do the bumping, he does still do a lot of pair swimming and many other behaviors that we consider to be a normal part of developing and maintaining this mom-calf bond. To me, this error that you saw in this video actually highlights the opportunities that killer whale biologists have to learn and study from the whales here at SeaWorld. Killer whale biologists who only work with wild whales very rarely have the opportunity to watch a calf be born, to study nursing patterns and actually observe this mom-calf bond. Resting is a common natural behavior for killer whales. The southern resident killer whale ecotype spends about 10 to 21% of their time doing it. The transient killer whale ecotype spends between 2 and 7% of their time doing it. The behavior seems to be equally common in the SeaWorld killer whale ecotype. There are many things that we can still learn from the killer whales at SeaWorld. For example, our 10-month-old calf and her mom are currently enrolled in 3 separate research projects that are all aimed at helping understand and studying the growth and development of killer whale calves, both here and in the wild.
We received a question, what does it take to be a sea lion and otter trainer? Well, not only should you have a preferred degree and be a proficient swimmer and have a passion for animals, here at Sea Lion and Otter Stadium, you also need to be an excellent performer. Right, Clyde? Something unique to Sea Lion and Otter Stadium is that our animals can be with us in the water and on land. This allows us to perform unique behaviors as well as complex behaviors like swimming with them in the water. It doesn't matter if you're working with a 500-pound sea lion, a 50-pound sea otter, or a 10-pound Asian small cloud otter. The training process is all the same. It's based on positive reinforcement and hinges on building a strong relationship with our animals. The best part of our day is maintaining our relationship with our animals. We can do this through sessions like relate and play, and sometimes the best way to get to know your animal is to teach them something new. Thanks for the question, and keep them coming at AskSeaWorld.com.
Hi guys, I'm Dr. Lara Croft, one of the veterinarians here at SeaWorld Orlando. A lot of folks are curious about just what it takes to be a veterinarian at SeaWorld. There's lots of veterinarians here and we all took slightly different paths, but there's a few things in common. The first is pretty obvious, you have to go to veterinary school. Then second, all of us have had at least 1 year of training with domestic animals to really hone our medical and surgical skills. And then finally, we all did some postgraduate training to work with exotic animals, and that prepared us for working at SeaWorld with a huge variety of animals, everything from sea turtles to killer whales. All the veterinarians at SeaWorld have to be caring and compassionate towards all animals, but we also have to have a sense of adventure. With our rescue program, we never know where we're going to end up or what each day may bring.
Hi, I'm Tanner. We've received a lot of questions through Ask SeaWorld about what it takes to become a killer whale trainer. Well, everyone's path is different. I started here about 10 years ago, and I got my degree in psychology, and I did some internships working with other species of animals. And here at SeaWorld, I've worked not only with our killer whales, but with our otters, sea lions, and walruses. And when we look to hire new trainers, we prefer people with a psychology or animal science degree. You have to be a strong swimmer. We've got a swim test that you have to pass in order to get an interview for the job. And you have to have a passion for animals. Hi, my name is Tanner. We received a question from Jasmine wanting to know how much does an average killer whale weigh? Well, Jasmine, the average adult female weighs between 5,000 and 8,000 pounds. This is Makayo. He's one of our juvenile males. Right now at 4.5 years old, he weighs in at 2,000 pounds. But eventually when he's full grown, he could be between 8,000 and 12,000 pounds. Thanks for your question, Jasmine. To learn more, visit SeaWorldCares.com.
Hi, I'm Chuck Crow. We got a very popular question in from our friend Gracie, who wants to know, what's it like to be a dolphin trainer? Well, I can tell you that Jamie and I have been training dolphins here at SeaWorld San Antonio for a very long time. It's a very worthwhile and rewarding career. But there's a lot of different things we have to take into consideration, a lot of different responsibilities. Now that includes things like preparing the food for them to eat every day, and also cleaning up in their environment, which sometimes means getting in the water and scuba diving. Another one of our important responsibilities is to provide a mentally stimulating environment for these animals. Now, we do that in a number of different ways. We have different types of interactions, or what we call sessions with the animals. For example, right now, Jamie's just playing with the animals. Now, this is one way that we strengthen our relationship with them. Other types of interactions that we have with these animals are husbandry sessions, where we actually train the animals to cooperate with us so that we can give them good medical care. Another session is a play session, and just as the name implies, it is a lot of fun. We just simply play with the animals in a wide variety of ways. And lastly, we have shows, which is actually a culmination of different types of sessions. Within a show, believe it or not, we have learning sessions, play sessions, and relationship building sessions. They all come together to present these magnificent animals to our public. So Gracie, to answer your question, being a dolphin trainer here at SeaWorld is absolutely fantastic. It's a worthwhile career. Bottom line is it gives us the opportunity to connect you with these amazing animals.
Hi, I'm John. Recently we've received several questions regarding our killer whales and why we offer them gelatin. Well, that's a great question. We use gelatin as one of the ways to positively reinforce our killer whales. They have a lot of fun playing with it, and they eat it too. They seem to enjoy the consistency and the texture, and it's also an additional source of hydration for the whales. We have all different types of reinforcement that we offer our killer whales, things like ice cubes, snowballs, water pours, and even a nice back rub. And the whales really seem to enjoy these.